James Cameron is a well-known and masterful film director who directed some amazing films such as Titanic, Aliens, The Terminator, and Avatar. But the director is also known to be a tyrant on film sets and is nearly impossible to work with. This video is going to explain some of the horrendous things that Cameron has done to gain this reputation and why he's probably the most challenging director to work with. Number 1. James Cameron is known for being a very demanding director. He is a great visionary and expects his crew to deliver exactly what he envisions. He has a reputation for pushing his crew to work their limits, both physically and mentally. On the set of his sci-fi film The Abyss, Cameron demanded his workers to work in unsafe conditions. Initially, the water used in the filming had an excessive amount of chlorine, causing members without protective gear to experience hair loss and skin burns. In response to his workers' grievances, he responded with the famous retort, "I'm letting you breathe, what more do you want?" The film also experienced some rumored near drownings involving the lead star of the film, Ed Harris, and Cameron himself. While filming an underwater scene for the film, an incident occurred where Harris was in danger of drowning after his safety diver became entangled in a cable, causing a delay in delivering air to Harris. Despite another diver coming to his aid, they mistakenly inserted the emergency regulator upside down into Harris's mouth, resulting in water filling into his lungs. Although he survived the ordeal, Harris was deeply affected by the experience, reportedly weeping alone during his car ride home. A similar incident occurred on the film Titanic, where Kate Winslet also experienced a near drowning when she was submerged underwater when her long and heavy coat became snagged. After the film's release, Winslet commented on the situation. "I had to sort of shimmy out of the coat to get free. I had no breath left. I thought I'd burst, and James said, 'Okay, let's go again.' That was his attitude. I didn't want to be a wimp, so I didn't complain." The writer-director's relentless pursuit of his artistic vision often leads him to disregard the physical and mental well-being of others, while demanding their involvement in unsafe environments with little regard for their suffering. Number 2. Perfectionist. James Cameron is known to obsess over the smallest details of his films and is not afraid to make his crew work long hours to achieve his vision. Cameron will shoot as many takes as possible to get the perfect shot, all the while screaming at you to get it right. In an interview with the LA Times, Kate Winslet revealed that James Cameron possessed an extremely volatile temper, which left her feeling genuinely frightened on numerous occasions. During the filming of scenes involving water, Winslet even feared for her life and ultimately contracted pneumonia from prolonged exposure to the water. Another example of this is during the filming of The Abyss, where Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio was drenched and had to bare her breasts while Ed Harris repeatedly pounded on her chest and slapped her face. As James Cameron demanded a take after take after take, the pressure eventually led to Mastrantonio storming off the set and refusing to return unless the scene was completed. She expressed her dismay, declaring that they were not animals and that Cameron should have concluded the scene much sooner. Cameron will film for as long as is possible to get the perfect shot, regardless of how tired the film crew is, sometimes going well over 20 hours of filming to get it. Number 3. Temperamento. Another reason why James Cameron is considered a hard director to work with is because of his short fuse. He has been involved in several high-profile arguments with actors and crew members, including a famous altercation with the actor Ed Harris on the set of The Abyss. It is rumored that Harris actually struck Cameron during this altercation because he was so fed up with his temperament. The actor experienced high-level stress levels during the filming and had a mental breakdown and refuses to comment on the filming of The Abyss still to this day. Cameron is known to lose his cool in an instant. According to an article in The Guardian, it was reported that Cameron would use a nail gun to staple cell phones to the wall if he heard them ringing on the set of the Avatar. Despite seeming hearsay, this account has actually been confirmed by actor Sam Worthington, who stated in an interview with Entertainment Weekly that Cameron indeed used to nail them above the exit so you always remember them when you go out. The director has such a temperament that crew members of the film Aliens actually printed and wore t-shirts that read, "You can't scare me, I work for James Cameron." He's known to invade actors and crew members' personal space and shout profanities at 300 decibels. Here are some of the belittling things he said to crew members while filming Terminator 2: Judgment Day. "Scott, do you like your effing job? I understand, I've worked with children before. Bad acting, call the actor police. Having Gavin is like losing 2 good men. Who hired this dumb mother? A day without Frank is like a day in the park. Only a poor craftsman blames his tools." Famous actors are not exempt from his harsh treatment. While filming his 1994 action film True Lies, the director reportedly screamed in Arnold Schwarzenegger's face, "Do you want Paul Verhoeven to direct the rest of this mother-effing film?" Number 4. Control freak. James Cameron likes to have complete control over every aspect of his films, from the script to the editing process. This can make it very difficult for his crew to have any creative input or to make any suggestion. He has been known to micromanage his crew and to be very particular about every detail. A perfect example of this is on Cameron's first film called Piranha 2, where the director did not have control over the editing process. Not liking how the final cut looked, Cameron reportedly broke into the editing room and edited the film himself to make his own cut of the film. He was eventually caught performing this crime, and his version of the story was never released. Needless to say, he wants the film made his way, and there is no room for any other creativity. This also occurred on the most recent Terminator film, Terminator Dark Fate, where Cameron did not direct the film but was a producer in it, but still exuded his absolute control over the film's creative side. Tim Miller directed the film and was involved in many intense disputes with Cameron over the story's content. Cameron later remarked that the blood is still being scrubbed up off the walls from those arguments, and that the film's editing was forged through the fire. There were other creative battles as well that Cameron won against Tim Miller, such as the early story development and character lines that Miller thought were poetic, but since Cameron had the final cut privileges, those lines were eventually cut. Number 5. James Cameron has very high expectations for his crew. He expects them to be passionate and committed to the film to the level that he is. He has been quoted as saying, "I only want people who are passionate about what they're doing on my set." This can make it very difficult for his crew, who may not be able to match his level of commitment. During the filming of True Lies, James Cameron's drive for hard work was strongly evident, as he reportedly threatened to terminate staff members who took restroom breaks. This was particularly challenging for Arnold Schwarzenegger, who revealed in an interview with Entertainment Weekly that he was unable to use the restroom while shooting scenes inside the simulated Harrier jet. Cameron also had the same set of rules on the set of Titanic, where actors and extras were not allowed to take breaks that were not scheduled. As individuals inevitably need to use the restroom, the crew members resorted to urinating in the large water tank due to a strict policy against allowing bathroom breaks. Notably, both Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet have acknowledged relieving themselves in the tank. So there you have it. James Cameron is considered a hard director to work with because of his demanding nature, perfectionism, temperament, control-freak tendencies, and high expectations. Despite these challenges, many actors and crew members are still eager to work with him, as his films have been some of the most successful and groundbreaking in cinema history. Cameron has mellowed out in the recent years, but not to the point of being easygoing. He is still a tough director to work with, but his solo flares don't reach as far as before. Cameron demands a lot of his cast and crew members, but demands even more from himself. As difficult as he is to work with, Cameron always outworked everybody and was not afraid to get his hands dirty and often performed the work of 10 people. Kate Winslet put it the best. She said that during the filming of Titanic, she was going on 4 hours of sleep, he was going on 3. That being said, being passionate and hardworking does not excuse harassing others to execute a good film. There are many other film directors who have accomplished some amazing cinematic works without being tyrants on sets. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching.